Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
We can't get stuck arguing about which candidate performs better on TV. Oh, no. We can't get stuck on which candidate can give the best insults. Oh, no. We can't get stuck on what color a candidate's hair is. Oh, no. We can't get stuck on who's touched what prostitute or what porn star. Otherwise, we got to go all the way back in history and come back again. No. And we can't get stuck on who has a slight disability or not. Because in my tradition, Moses stuttered, but he brought down Pharaoh.
Wow. Reverend Barber.
Did Moses stutter?
Apparently. Okay. One more. Reverend Barber. Hello.
Jeremiah had depression, but he stood up for justice. Jesus was acquainted with sorrow. Harriet Tubman had epilepsy. Folk are getting caught up on how a candidate walks. Well, let me tell you, I have trouble walking, but I know how to walk toward justice. President Roosevelt did more than any president of this nation, and he couldn't walk at all. So we say to the media, this election is not about foolish things. It's about whether we will have a democracy. And it is not about one candidate. It is about the people mobilizing and organizing. And you will not drive us to despair.
Thank you. Oh, God, I love him. By the way, can we get a little organ like that? I like that. It was punctuating his points.
It's
a little organ.
Would you like to hire an organist?
Can we get a little shredder?
Would you like to hire an organist?
He was playing.
Yeah.
Was
he? Was it him?
Yes, it was him.
All right. I would like a little organist. Over
little
there.
one?
Maybe someone from Mini Kiss with a little organ that just, when I make a particularly good point, I would just like a...
Mini Queen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Any of the mini bands. Can we get that? Can we do that? Let's democracy's on the line.
Budget?
Let's get a GoFundMe just for a little mini band for 4 months until we save our democracy. I think a little bump with a good point for me, and then for Chris, like a sad trumpet.
Right.
Just kidding. We were discussing during the show, it makes people cry when we fight. And we were saying, I said particularly children of divorce who are the middle child like Jody, who always assumes it's her fault.
It is my fault.
And you said you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest, so it's always my fault.
I'm the baby. It's never my fault.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
sums up everybody's family.
Oh.
My oldest and my baby sister used to gang up on me and say it was my fault when it was their fault.
At least you haven't held on to that
No, not at all.
all these years.
No, I'm not bitter.
Okay, I hate everyone this morning. Not.
Well,
You two may get caught in the crossfire, but
All right.
Joe on Twitter I was trying to coalesce my mind around everything that's happening. He just said Joe is old. Reagan had Alzheimer's. Everyone knew. Not one Republican called for him to step down. I mean, that is the difference in the parties. They all knew he had Alzheimer's going into the second term, and it. Anyway, by the way, by the end of the, this is the end of our week because tomorrow's July 4th, and then we have,
we have great best ofs.
best of July 4th and 5th.
Yes.
And enjoy.
Yes.
Happy birthday, America. We got
and
a
the
king.
normal weekend best of.
We
on
got a
your-
king,
on
right.
on your local station.
Right, because Chris LeBoy never stops working for America.
True. Very true.
We got a king for our birthday. Isn't it exciting?
I know. Why are we celebrating July 4th then?
Here's my point. By the end of this week, which is today is the end of our work week, we will be yelled at by almost every member of the armed services. Yesterday, General Honoré yelled at us, and everyone really enjoyed that.
It's
and today,
honor to be called a jackwagon by.
Yes.
maybe. I think we gave him that term. I don't think he called us a jackwagon.
I like to think he did.
People loved him. He will be back.
Oh, yeah.
Today, Navy Senior Chief, now Malcolm Nance, will also yell at us.
He warned me.
I
He will
know.
be
He
super
wrote
shouty.
he wrote a fantastic
He did.
piece, and
We've linked to it at StephanieMiller.com.
Yeah, and I have said, I just Seth Abramson has a great thread too, right? You sent to me, Jody, that
It's a long one, but it's very good.
yeah, it's very. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's very long, but I just it's also that we always talk about. God, I miss Eric Boehlert. Just about the media's role and everything. It just if I have to 1,000-year-old Andrea Mitchell do one more segment about whether Biden's too. She falls asleep on air. She can barely ever get a sentence out. She should have retired 11 billion years ago.
Biden said he almost fell asleep during the debate.
Oh my God, these like breaking news like stories like the staff says Biden's better between 10 and 4. Yeah, me too. Oh, Biden needs a nap. Me too. I'm a lot younger. Okay. My point is, where was my point? I lost it. Here it is. I just feel like the media is going to, because let's face it, we're easily scared. We're easily panicked. I feel like they are going
because it is so important.
I get it.
That's
they're going to terrify us into dumping Joe Biden, which I think is crazy. All the stuff is being speculated. It's crazy fantasy football. What did someone call it? West Wing fanfic.
Well, does nobody
Someone
remember
sent me a piece.
1980?
Biden steps down today. Kamala Harris is the president. Then she picks Obama. And then, I'm like,
Oh, it's great.
okay, that's not going to happen.
That's fanfic. Right.
Right.
It's a fan of.
And Chris, no offense to you, I get what you were saying yesterday that we're mad and we want stuff to be done, but I also don't want to gin up our audience and cause more frustration at Biden. Like, why isn't Biden doing X, Y, Z? First of all, like, I didn't agree with General Honoré that I don't think you should take away Trump's Secret Service. No. I don't want any harm to come to Trump. Like, it's one thing for us to like fantasize about what stuff he could do. But, Joe Biden is not going to do stuff that's unconstitutional or illegal. I can't remember what the other thing was, the closing the airspace for Trump's plane or like,
That's dumb.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you didn't say that to General Honoré because you're scared.
I wasn't conducting the interview. You were conducting the interview.
And does nobody remember 1980 with Ted Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that long ago. That's what part of the reason why Carter was not elected.
Yeah. Speaking of Kennedys, I think.
Well, that's not analogous to what's going on today. What's going on today is people are.
It's not up to all these like Democratic Party inside. It's not up to them. We don't have smoke-filled rooms anymore, and I sense a real frustration. And I know Dina Badala and others of that interact with the public like we do have said people feel the same frustration that I'm sorry, it's not up to us. Like voters don't get a say. So and so congressman from wherever says Biden. I mean, I've said if Biden
decides.
He is owed his. If he decides, I am 11 billion% in for whatever. But it's just this like Seth Abrams. This was an interesting. I'm just going to give you the gist of it. But he just said, we all need to understand something. Only one group has the power to decide whether President Biden will end his campaign. Corporate media. Voters don't get a say, nor, contrary to popular opinion, does the Biden family. American media wants him gone. They will make it so. I feel like I can't. And even MSNBC, I can't turn it on without another segment. And Biden for now, first of all, I've said if he's like this in every setting, but he wasn't.
Right.
He wasn't when we saw him 2 weeks ago. He was great in North Carolina. He did great in the hurricane. He spoke eloquently about climate change and the effect and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he's going to sit down with Stephanopoulos. I'm like, so what's our plan now? Just work him to death to prove to people that he's okay? Yes, Jody? Middle child, yes.
Well, a lot of people give him crap for reading off of teleprompter. See how well you can do it. That don't have a stutter.
Trump has a...
Just
people...
Right. Everybody at that level reads off a teleprompter. I'm not worried about
Let me just finish Seth's thing, really. Yeah, already you can sense the conversation moving away from whether Biden will end his campaign to when and how he will do so, not surprisingly. Corporate media is pushing the alternative scenarios that will cause the most drama and chaos for Democrats and produce the best ratings. He said if Biden steps down, there will be metaphorical blood all over the walls of the DNC. It will be a show.
Yep.
Do you think suddenly we're going to become an organized, orderly party? And as Jody and I keep saying, if it's not Kamala Harris,
you've lost.
You're going to blow up. I mean, it's just how do you just skip over the first black female vice president? Oh, well, she doesn't matter.
Well, a poll was released yesterday saying that Kamala Harris is actually doing very well.
Thank you, Chris. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, but all of this is again fantasy football. Like what?
Well, sure.
So let me just finish his real quick. He just said if you watch CNN, you'll understand it. And the rest of corporate media plans to cover this story until the Democratic Party is so terrified it forces Biden out. All of this is happening in real time. I've been a journalist since 1994. I don't believe I've seen corporate media collectively want something as badly as it wants Biden gone, and it knows it has the power to do it, so it's not going to stop till it's done. I don't think anyone could withstand this onslaught. And he said, also just this one, the Supreme Court declared Donald Trump king of America yesterday, and the media is treating it as a page 34 story. Trump and Putin had a jet-dated Dulles parking lot for 2 days, and the media is treating it as a non-story. The reason it has work to do, force a president to resign. I mean, Trump said it out loud. There's new audio about ratings. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're a terrible person. It's, you know, the media loves this drama.
Moonves said it.
Huh?
Les Moonves said it in 2016.
Yeah. Just that picture of your mother American icon in my head. That's Moonves going to blow it out his ass. Okay.
You are invited to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour. It's the political comedy event of the year, and it's coming to a city near you. Join Stephanie Miller, the queen of progressive talk radio, along with Hal Sparks, John Fugelsang, and the comedy duo Frangela, mocking all the fascists and trolls for a tour that is hilarious, inspiring, and deeply offensive to just the right people. It's an all-new tour with all new guests and a side-splitting evening of stand-up. Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour.